Am I the jerk for refusing to give my stepmom the money my dad left me? I'm a 26-year-old guy from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm caught in a family mess that's been eating at me for weeks. Last year, my dad passed away from a heart attack, and it's been the hardest thing I've ever gone through. He was my rock, taught me how to change a tire, cheered louder than anyone at my high school soccer games, and always had my back, even when I was a dumb teenager sneaking beers from his fridge. Losing him left a hole I'm still figuring out how to live with. He'd been remarried to my stepmom, Karen, not her real name, for about 8 years. They got hitched when I was 18, so I was already halfway out the door to college, but let's just say Karen and I never exactly bonded. She wasn't cruel or anything, just distant. Like, she makes small talk at Thanksgiving, but never really tried to know me. I was fine with that, civil but not close. Here's where it gets messy. When my dad died, he left a will that was crystal clear. He left me, his only biological kid, a decent chunk of money, around $150,000, enough for a solid down payment on a house in Charlotte's up-and-coming neighborhoods like Noda or Plaza Midwood, with some leftover to start building a future. In the will, he wrote that the money was for me to get a good start in life, which hit me hard because that's exactly the kind of thing he'd always say when we'd talk about my goals over burgers at Bad Daddy's. Karen, on the other hand, wasn't left high and dry. She got their house, a nice 4-bedroom in Ballantyne, probably worth $600,000, and a comfortable amount of savings for what my dad's lawyer told me. I don't know the exact number, but it's enough for her to keep up her lifestyle, which includes weekly Monty Python and those fancy wine nights with her book club. Point is, she's not destitute. Fast forward to a couple of months ago. I was over at the house picking up some of my dad's old tools he'd wanted me to have, stuff like his vintage wrench set that we'd used to tinker with his old Mustang in the garage. Karen and I got to chatting, and I mentioned I was starting to look at houses, nothing fancy, just a starter home where I could finally stop throwing rent money into the void. I wasn't fishing for anything. It just came up naturally. But the second I said it, her whole vibe shifted. She got this weird, calculated look and started talking about family responsibilities and how tough it's been for her since Dad died. I nodded along, thinking she was just venting, but then she dropped the bomb. She asked for a loan from my inheritance to help keep the house running. I was floored. She didn't say how much, but she implied it was a big chunk, talking about property taxes, HOA fees, and some vague repairs the house supposedly needs. I asked her what happened to the savings Dad left her, and she got cagey, saying it's not as simple as that, and that bills add up. I tried to stay calm, but my gut was screaming. I told her no, flat out. I said Dad's will was specific. That money was for me to build my life, not to bail her out. I pointed out she got the house and plenty of cash, so why was she coming to me? That's when she lost it. Karen went off, calling me greedy and selfish, saying family comes first, and that I was spitting on your father's memory by not helping her. The kicker? She said, your dad would be so disappointed in you right now. That one stung, because if anything, I know Dad would be furious she's even asking. He was always big on personal responsibility. Used to lecture me about saving for a rainy day while we'd grill steaks in the backyard. He wrote that will for a reason, and I'm not about to ignore his wishes to make Karen's life easier. I left after that, and we haven't talked since, but the fallout's been wild. Karen must have spun her version of the story, because now my family's split down the middle. My uncle, Dad's brother, called me up and said I'm doing the right thing. He never liked Karen much, always thought she was high maintenance, and told me Dad left me that money to secure my future, not to subsidize her. My cousin, who's close to Karen, texted me saying I'm being heartless and that I should help out because Karen was part of Dad's life and family sticks together. My aunt, who's kind of the family peacemaker, suggested I give Karen a small amount to keep the peace, but even that feels wrong. Like, where's the line? If I give her $10,000 now, what's stopping her from asking for more next year? The thing is, I don't trust Karen's story. She's never been straight with me about money. When Dad was alive, she'd drop hints about how his life insurance or savings weren't enough for her, even though they took annual trips to places like Hilton Head, and she's got a closet full of designer bags. I did some digging, not proud of it, but I checked the county tax records online, and the house is paid off, no liens or anything. Property taxes in Ballantyne aren't cheap, sure, but they're not sell your car, expensive, and her savings should cover it. Plus, she's still working part-time as a real estate agent, showing million-dollar homes to tech bros moving to Charlotte. So what's the deal? Is she blowing through her money on wine and spa days? Or is there some legit crisis she's not telling me about? Either way, why is it my problem? I'm trying to move forward with my life. I've got a decent job as a logistics coordinator, but Charlotte's housing market is brutal, and that inheritance is my shot at stability. Maybe a 2-bedroom in South End, where I can build equity and not worry about rent hikes. I'm not out here trying to buy a McMansion or a Tesla. I just want what Dad wanted for me, a fair start. But Karen's guilt trips and the family drama are making me second-guess myself. I keep hearing her voice in my head, saying Dad would be disappointed, and it's messing with me. I love my dad, and I want to honor what he wanted, but am I being a jerk for holding my ground? Reddit, what do you think? Am I the jerk for refusing to give Karen any of my inheritance? Should I cave and give her something to shut her up, or stick to my guns? How do I navigate this without torching what's left of my family? I just want to do right by my dad and not feel like I'm getting played.